Imagine if relieving yourself in the restroom could turn into a criminal charge against you. The national egg shortage is not only affecting consumers. In a few minutes, I'll tell you more about how food banks are running low on this American breakfast staple. An underground vault exploded here in this residential area in North Hollywood. You can see behind me a huge mess and debris, a mix of cement, concrete, asphalt, and metal. Family and friends of Eric Barbosa Guardado has placed flowers and lighted candles in memory of who they say is the kindest soul. Imagine if relieving yourself in the restroom could turn into a criminal charge against you. That's what happened to George K. Porter Middle School 8th grader Tomas Micheo. His parents said he was charged with battery and suspended for allegedly pushing an aide to get into the school restroom after the aide refused to let him in.
I tried to squeeze him through because there's obviously an opening through his arm, and when I was here, bent over, he kind of did this to me, squeezing me against the wall.
13-year-old Micheo says the aide blocked his entry to the restroom, claiming LAUSD's restroom policy only allows 3 to 4 occupants at one time. But Micheo says the bathroom was not full.
There was only 2 kids inside.
When asked about the unidentified aide's action, a district spokesperson said, quote, that the school administrative teams work hard to create a safe school environment that fosters respect, kindness, and compassion, and declined to comment on the specific incident. Micheo's father says he believes his son and thinks the district is being too harsh and unfair.
To call the police and to put him in the system now, marked for life, I just don't get it.
He says the events have affected his son's self-esteem. Even his grades have dropped.
He wishes he was at school with his friends.
But the 8th grader says he feels nervous about going back to school. He feels like other staff members are targeting him.
She said to me, no pushing today, okay? Kind of teasing me about it.
Micheo's father said when he asked the school for an investigation report, he was told there was none. Micheo will be returning to school this week. Reporting from Northridge, I'm Sonia Hiew. An underground vault exploded here in this residential area in North Hollywood. You can see behind me a huge mess and debris, a mix of cement, concrete, asphalt, and metal. That bush over there is completely charred. Catherine McLean, who lives right next door, said when the explosion occurred, she thought it was an earthquake.
It took me a second to realize that whatever had happened had made all the dogs in the neighborhood start barking, and a bunch of car alarms had gone off. So once I started registering those other noises, I realized it was something bigger.
The explosion caused power outages in various neighborhoods across North Hollywood. Biff Bratch, who lives in Valley Village, says he just got his power back on after the historic storm took it out a few days ago.
We had a major tree fall on our block and took down 3 power poles and transformers. So we've been out of power for many days. They finally fixed it. It's been on for a few days. Now, boom, it's out again.
LADWP have received numerous calls of blown transformers across North Hollywood. A LADWP worker told me crews are uncertain how long it would take them to get the power back on. Many of them were still trying to catch up with restoring power to communities affected by the storm last week. A resident told us that this 5-inch thick of concrete flew 6 feet up in the air. Thankfully, no injuries have been reported. Reporting from North Hollywood, I'm Sonia Hiew. Protesters filled Mexico City this weekend in support of the National Electoral Institute. Demonstrators says President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador is threatening democracy with his new electoral law changes. They would cut salaries and funding for local election offices and reduce sanctions for candidates who don't report campaign spendings. Marchers dressed in white and pink, the colors of the Institute, and shouted slogans like, "Don't touch my vote." Lopez Obrador still remains popular with around 60% approval ratings. That's the latest in international news. I'm Sonia Hiew. Back to you.